Hello everyone, Ryan here. God Bless You, Dr. Kevorkian by Kurt Vonnegut. I've heard at least 3 or 4 people pronounce his last name differently, so I'm just going to say Vonnegut. Yeah. Anyways, this book is pretty short. It's like 78 pages. And all it is Kurt Vonnegut, he pretends to be like a reporter of some kind, and he like skips back and forth between life and the afterlife with the help of Dr. Kevorkian. If you don't know who Dr. Kevorkian is, just Google him. I mean, if you want like a real in-depth analysis of him, Dr. Kevorkian, he's just, he was pretty much like the first doctor to do the whole assisted suicide thing, for people who say, they were dying of a terminal illness of some kind, and they just wanted to end their life because ultimately they were going to die. So Dr. Kevorkian pretty much helped them. All he did was, I believe, honestly, he just injected them with, I don't know, different chemicals or something. Similar to like when prisoners get the death penalty, and they get lethal injection. So, yeah. So Kurt Vonnegut in this book, he, of course, with the help of Dr. Kevorkian, he kind of travels to the other side and he interviews. He does a lot of these like really short interviews with different people. Some of them are well known, some of them not so well known. I mean, such as Sir Isaac Newton, Clarence Darrow, James Earl Ray. James Earl Ray, of course, the guy that assassinated Martin Luther King. Eugene Debs, John Brown, Adolf Hitler, William Shakespeare, and Kilgore Trout. I believe Kilgore Trout was from another story by Vonnegut. But anyway, so a lot of these interviews, while they're really short, some of them are humorous, some of them are philosophical, some of them are very insightful, very profound, and as I don't know how else to describe them. That's pretty much it. I like that each interview is short and just really to the point. And pretty much at the end of each one, Vonnegut, he just makes sure to sign off. Because that's supposed to be like if he's doing some kind of radio broadcaster, or like supposedly he is like imagining himself with a tape recorder and he's recording his interviews. And then that way, when he's brought back to life, because it's supposed to be like, he goes to and from the afterlife. So he's brought back from the afterlife. And then he has the interview recorded on his tape recorder. So I mean, ultimately, I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed this. I want to say, like, I heard about this book once before, and actually I had skimmed through it once before, but didn't read it in its entirety. So I always wanted to. I'm glad I did, and like I said, it's really short, easy to get through. Some of the interviews I liked were like the interview he did with Adolf Hitler. It was interesting because essentially Adolf Hitler just said that he felt bad, that he was sorry, and that he wanted people on Earth to erect some kind of statue of him and then engrave the words on it, like some German words or something, which essentially just meant like, I'm sorry, or my mistake, or something along those lines. And so I thought that was pretty funny, also interesting. And then the other interview he does with James Earl Ray, the guy who assassinated Martin Luther King, I would say that interview ended up being like the most truthful. Like, I'd imagine, like, to me it came off as like, that kind of seems like how an interview with that guy would go. Because pretty much like he just tells him, James Earl Ray said that if he had to do it over again, that he wouldn't go through with it because he doesn't like that now, Martin Luther King is, he's become a big martyr, a big figure, a big icon, and, there's a lot of monuments to him, and James Earl Ray doesn't like that, and really, like, the only thing he kind of felt bad about was the fact that, he helped the civil rights movement more than he thought he would. So, that was pretty insightful. The other one I like too was the interview he does with Sir Isaac Newton. It's only because, like, in this, like, Isaac Newton comes off as being just really curious, and that supposedly even in the afterlife, Isaac Newton is still trying to think of new theories and trying to, like, invent stuff, and at the same time, like, supposedly he's like pretty jealous that he didn't come up with so many other things when he was alive, because of the fact that, now that he's dead and he's in the afterlife, and he's aware of, like, all the different things invented by, like, say, Thomas Edison and other stuff too, like Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, and so it's kind of like, he's like kicking himself for not thinking of those things himself, and which I don't know if Vonnegut did any kind of research for this. I want to say maybe he did it because it kind of feels like he did a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Either he did, like, he read up a little bit or something. So I don't know. Because when this was published, supposedly this was published in the 90s, like 99 or something. I mean, that's the copyright date that's on the inside of the book. So, I mean, I guess the internet was around then, but I'm not sure, because I know, like, not everyone had access to it yet. So, and also I kind of feel like, Kurt Vonnegut was one of those guys that really didn't like using the internet. But yeah, I don't know, unless this was, like, published posthumously. So, I don't know. Let me know if you happen to know that, so, because I don't know. I probably should have looked that up before doing this review. I'll look it up after. So, yeah. Overall, I mean, I would give this 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, 4 out of 5. Because it's a lot of really short interviews. It's nothing too lengthy or too in-depth. I kind of feel like there's maybe like 2 or 3 of the interviews where he could have expanded on a little more, but he kept them short and sweet, and just really straightforward, straight to the point. So I actually like that kind of writing. So yeah, I mean, otherwise I feel like if this was a little longer, or if there was a lot more interviews, then it would have easily been 5 stars for me. So yeah, but it's not. I mean, it's short, so, but I still liked it. So therefore, 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, and of course, like, I don't remember if I mentioned in the beginning, but I read this back in July. So yeah, it was kind of part of my July TBR. So yeah. So that'll do it for my review of this. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. As always, until next time, don't forget, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.